So now that we've seen two great presentations, be ready for a terrible one. But it might have some practicality. This, believe it or not, is the cover of an urban renewal document for this city in the 60s. I'm not kidding. It basically said, bulldoze the east part of Jasper Avenue, which we did. This, for those of you that don't know, is a Carnegie Library, where Telus Tower is. And it was built in the 20s, and it was demolished in the 60s, if I remember. How do we let this kind of thing happen? Oh, wait, we still do, right. So this building, the Tegler building, was built at the turn of the century, a beautiful looking building, wonderful building. We tore it down to build a building that we're tearing down. That Tegler building was on the historic registry, and then it was torn down a year after it was put on. Thankfully, for those of you that don't know, this was only partially constructed. The little bit over by the McDonald Bridge, that horrible use of land and this highway in the middle of a park space, was going to be all around downtown. Oliver, Central McDougall was all going to be demolished. When we make urban design choices, what the hell are we thinking? This is in Winnipeg, and like I'd love to have been in that meeting where we're like, yeah, let's make it look like a building, but let's not make it a building. So I thought about blurring out the background to see if anybody could tell me what city in northern Siberia this is. But this is in the middle of downtown. A few weeks ago, actually. How? Like, how is that acceptable? Speaking of acceptable, these are. I get a few calls every day from some people that like bike lanes and most who do not. They're important, and we need to use them. We need to tell our friends to use them. I want to make a t-shirt out of this. This is the original hand sketch of our mass transit system. A little Jetsons, and if you've been to Disney World, kind of looks like that too. But the key point here is that was from the 60s, and it was a plan that never got completed, and we still don't have it completed. But we're getting closer, and this is going to be wonderful. And I know there's controversy with low floor and AI and how that's going to affect cars and transportation, but there are 5 modes of transportation in that photo. And 102 Avenue is actually going to be an urban avenue in a couple years. Maybe the reason I live downtown is summed up in this photo. The 104th Street City Market is really one of the gems of this city. And how can we just ensure that it remains that gem? And there are going to be some challenges coming up for it, so please support it. This is my dog, Monster. This is my 3rd PK presentation, and I always put Monster in it. We took him to the park to meet some friends, Alec Dakota Park. The point of this slide was just about the importance of amenity. We do not have enough amenity in central Edmonton. Nashville. Everybody seems to like Nashville. I think it's a horrible city. And the reason being is that everybody was like, oh man, you're going to Nashville? That's cool. This is one of the worst streets. I put it up there with Vegas. It is just a horrific, unauthentic place in that part. Playgrounds. We need more playgrounds. We are building one at Mackay Avenue School, and I would like some donations. We need about $80,000 more, so please. But in Winnipeg, when I walked around Winnipeg, they had 7 playgrounds in central Winnipeg. We have 0. Byward Market in Ottawa. I'm kind of starting to think that we need a year-round market downtown, not in City Hall. With a Christmas market in the winter. This is Shanghai. I'm not going to tell you if I was getting up early for coffee or coming home from the bar, but this was a Sunday morning, and in the middle of Shanghai, there are seniors learning how to dance. doing an exercise class and playing badminton in the middle of Shanghai. Like, why don't we do more of that? This always breaks my heart because I wish I could live in New York sometimes, maybe in Brooklyn, but it's all about the missing middle. We need to create more housing variety, period. We need townhouses. We need those kind of experiences for urban living, and we are getting closer, but we're not there yet. Queen Street East, if you've been to Leslieville, it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. It's gritty. It's not super expensive, kind of gentrified, but the scale of it is just so pleasing and inviting. And we don't do scale well in this city yet. The best opportunity we have in the downtown right now for change and perception and livability, this is going to be the new park. Thank you, Councillor McKean, for starting expropriation. And all of that is parking right now. It's going to become our new central park. Shibuya Crossing, which is one of my favorite places to go visit. When Japan puts people first, it becomes a wonderful place to be. And it does put people first. And it puts pedestrians first. We need to put pedestrians first. This, believe it or not, this is Edmonton. It was. There's a horse and buggy, there are people walking, there's cars, and there's trolleys. This was our city. Where did we let it go to?